Hi everyone. Last class we have discussed about respiratory system. Under that we have discussed upper respiratory tract. Let's see lower respiratory tract. Lower respiratory tract. It contains trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, lungs, diaphragm, so first let's see trachea. What is trachea? The upper portion which is continuation of larynx. So this is this area, trachea. The trachea, it is also called as windpipe. It's a continuation of the larynx and extend downwards to about the level of T5. T5. T5 means thoracic vertebrae fifth. So in vertebrae we have 7 cervical bone, 12 thoracic and 5 lumbar. So here it ends at the level of 5th thoracic vertebrae. So it is about 10 to 11 centimeter. The trachea is about 10 to 11 centimeter. And superiorly it is attached to the larynx, continuation of the larynx. Inferiorly to the right and left bronchi, where T5 ends. Here you can see it will divide with bronchus. And anteriorly, so the frontal portion with the thyroid gland, the posteriorly with esophagus. Show you picture. Here you can see. So this is trachea, 10 to 11 centimeter. Upper portion will be connected to larynx, the lower portion where it is divided with the bronchi, anteriorly with the thyroid gland and posteriorly esophagus. So this you can see, this is trachea, this is the posterior portion of, this is esophagus. So this, let's see structure of this trachea. It composed of 3 tissues. First one is a fibrous elastic tissue, second one is the smooth muscle, third is a ciliated columnar epithelium. So it has C-shaped cartilages. You can see this C-shaped cartilages that are all incomplete. That is about 16 to 20 incomplete cartilages rings you can see here. And the blood supply with the inferior thyroid artery and by bronchial artery, venous drainage by inferior thyroid veins, nerve supply will be by laryngeal nerve. Let us see what are all the functions of this trachea. First is the support and patency. Second one is the mucociliary escalator. That means which moves the mucus up and out of the lungs, where it can be expelled by when we are coughing or sneezing, like swallowing. So it will work as a mucociliary escalator and it has cough reflex and it is helpful in warming, humidifying and filtering. So these are the functions of the trachea. So let's see bronchi and bronchioles. So before going into that, we will have small discussion about the parts. So here, so this you can see, this is trachea. It is divided into bronchi. This is right primary bronchioles and left primary bronchus. So this bronchus has a small bronchioles. and alveolus. This you can see, this is alveoli. So let's see about this bronchioles. So each lung has this bronchi. So let's see first right primary bronchus. So this start at the level of T5, as I have said you. So it start at the level of T5, that is thoracic vertebrae fifth. The right bronchus, this is wider. The right bronchus is the wider and shorter and more vertical than the left. When we compare, more vertical. So length is about 2.5 centimeter. 2.5 centimeter. After entering the lobe, right lung, after entering into the right lung, it divides into 3 branches, 1, 2, 3, into the 3 lobes. So right lung has 3 lobes, superior, medial and inferior lobe. So this bronchi divide into 3 and goes into the each of the lobe. Next is the left primary bronchus. So it is narrower than the right, length is about 5 centimeter. After entering into the left lung, it is divided into 2 bronchi into each lobes. So right lung has 3 lobes, left lung has 2 lobes. Let's see the structure. So the bronchi are composed of the same tissues as the trachea. It is lined with the ciliated columnar epithelium. So as I said, division of bronchi, then into the bronchioles, there will be a terminal bronchioles and respiratory bronchioles and alveolar ducts, alveoli. So let's see the picture, alveoli. So here you can see normal alveoli and pneumonia, who is having pneumonia. So which causes fluid into the alveoli. Here you can see fluid. So this is a norm. Let's see the functions of this bronchi. So this respiratory bronchioles and bronchus has been divided into bronchi has been divided into bronchioles. So alveoli. So each lobe here, it is supplied by air by a terminal bronchiole, which further subdivides it into bronchioles, as I said, and alveolar duct and large number of alveoli. So each lung, like about 150 millions of alveolus will be present in the adult lung. And in this structure, the process of gas exchanges will take place in the alveoli. As airways progressively divide and become smaller and small, that walls gradually become thinner. So these distal respiratory passages are supported by a loose network of elastic connective tissues, and exchange of gases will take place in the alveoli, remember. So functions of this. So nerve supply by vagus nerve. External respiration, defense against the microbes and exchange of gases. External respiration, this exchange of gases by diffusion between the alveoli and the blood. Defense, so it will be protective cells present within the lung tissue, include lymphocyte and plasma cells, which produce antibodies. And exchanges of gases, as I said, it takes place in the alveoli. Let's discuss about lungs. Lungs, there are two lungs, one lying the each side as you can see in the picture. Shape is conical shape and the weight is 600 to 700 grams and the length is 20 to 24 centimeter. The color is pinkish. Lobes, 3 lobes, as I said, 3 lobes in the right lung and the 2 lobes in the left lung. I'll show you picture just yeah. So you can see here, this is the superior lobe, medial lobe and inferior lobe. It is divided by the fissures. As you can see, these are the fissures and left lung has only 2 lobes. Okay, so these fissures, lobes are separated by the fissure. The area between the lung is the mediastinum. This you can see, this is a mediastinum. So the surfaces of these lungs are the apex. The first one is the apex and the base and costal surfaces and medial surface. So these are the surfaces. Apex, I'll show you one picture, you can see. So here, apex, a base and costal surface, medial surface. So here you can see, this is apex, medial surface, it's a costal surface and base. So apex, it is rounded and rises into the root of the neck, as you can see, root of the neck. And a base, it is a concave shaped base, lies on the thoracic surface of the diaphragm. This is diaphragm where it separates the thoracic content and gastric contents. So the costal surface, as you can see, it's a convex and lies against the costal cartilages. You can see this costal cartilages. Next, medial surface. So this surface is concave and has a roughly triangular shaped area called the hilum. The pulmonary artery will supply the lung. 2 pulmonary veins will be draining in this. So here you can see a cardiac notch. So where heart will fits into the cardiac notch. So as I said that right lung has 3 fissures and left lung has 3 lobes and left lung has 2 lobes. So it is divided by the fissure. So that fissure, one is oblique, you can see here, one is horizontal fissure. One is oblique, one is horizontal. So oblique will be dividing medial and lower portion. Horizontal will be dividing superior and medial lobe. And the left lung, which has only 2 lobes, that is oblique fissure. Next, cardiac notch, which already have been discussed with you. Cardiac impression or cardiac notch, you can say. This mediastinal surface of the lung. So this is mediastinal surface. So where heart sits or fits into this. So this is about the right lung and left lung. So let's see pleural cavity. So each lungs has 2 layers, parietal and visceral layers, which is covering the lungs. So you can see in this picture, this is a visceral pleura and parietal pleura. In between there is a serous fluid present in the pleural cavity. The cavity which is between the membranes are called as pleural cavity. So left lung is left pleural cavity, right lung is right pleural cavity. So this pleural cavity, let's talk about pleural cavity. So what this pleural cavity will do? So these 2 layers of pleura are separated by 2 layers. parietal and visceral. So, it will prevent the friction between them during the breathing, and the serous fluid is secreted by the epithelial cells of the membranes. So, functions of these lungs, which controls of air entry, warming and humidifying, support and patency and removal of particular matter, cough reflexes. So, these are the functions. So, this is about the upper respiratory tract. If you have any doubts, can message me. Thank you.